Edith. Long time no see. Have you been doing all right? Are you getting around to finding yourself a boyfriend yet?
I've been doing all right. Thank you. But when it comes to a boyfriend, I'm still without one, all right.
Really? So you're telling me you're still single then, huh? You're almost into your 40s now. So I'd say this is pretty much it for you then. Even your younger sister is married to someone now. So I'd have to say you're just a loser now, huh?
It's wild to think you have the time to make fun of me like this when you're newlywed to your husband now and should be busy with that.
Excuse me? Unlike someone who's never worked a day in their life, I actually have been very busy and don't have that much time on my hands. I have to make sure that to please my husband, I'm cleaning the house every day over here. And the only reason I'm talking with you today is because I have something important to tell you about.
What kind of important stuff do you have to tell me?
Actually, I happen to be pregnant now. I was able to get married at the perfect age of 24, and at the age of 25, I'm already having my first baby. I think I am living the perfect life right now that any woman would be jealous of, right? Unlike a total loser like you, Edith, I'm winning the game of life.
Congrats, Emma. That is a very wonderful thing to tell me about. Now you'll have even more things to brag to me about.
Wow. You're even more excited about me than I thought you'd be. I was right to talk to you about this now instead of waiting until a closer date.
Huh? What's wrong with me being happy about you getting pregnant? I think it's normal for everyone to be happy about your new baby. I'm sure that when you tell Dad and Mom about this, they'll be over the moon with excitement.
But you're happy about all of this for a different reason, right? You're happy to hear that you'll now have a new niece or nephew that you can have over any time to take care of you when you're old and senile, right?
What?
Well, that's why I'm telling you about this now. Now listen, just because I'm having a baby and all that doesn't mean you get to see them and use them for your each and every desire, okay? I don't want you and your sad single woman life getting in the way of my family as you age, so stay away from us, okay?
Hold on a second, Emma. You actually think someone like me would have such selfish thoughts as that about you and your family? I would never have you and your kids or husband come to me when I get older and need assistance. I happen to have money saved up for that, so when the time comes, I can be put into a retirement home.
I wonder if that'll really be the case. You'll be lonely and sad, so you might go to extremes to get whoever you can to help you, right? You don't even have someone around you now promising to look after you when you're old, and I'm sure that money you're talking about isn't even real. I'm telling you that if you don't start getting out and working more, you won't have the money to support yourself. And besides, when you get to that age, you should be asking your immediate family for help caring for you first. And I'm guessing you'll try and get me or my kids to take care of you then.
I would never do that to you guys. I've been thinking about my later years for a while now and really do have the money saved for it.
You seriously are going to continue thinking I'd believe that? Ha! I know for a fact you want to use my kids to look after you when you can't care for yourself anymore. But that's too bad for you, Edith. Ha! I will never have my kids meeting you ever. And I for sure won't let them go out to care for you at all. So you can forget being happy about me having a baby soon, because they are never going to meet you.
Never? You're saying I can't meet any of your kids in the future because I'm still single?
I feel that you are going to try and spoil my kids in order to get them to help you when you're old and helpless, right? In the future, you'll tell me that you took such great care of them and that's why you need their help or something like that. And then you'll force them to have to go to your side and hear out.
What the heck have you been going on about, Emma? I was actually pretty excited to hear about you having your first baby, but now that excitement has passed.
If you really want to be around my family in the near future, then hurry up and find yourself a husband, all right? Right now, you are far too old to still be living with Mom and Dad. And by this point, I'm pretty sure both Mom and Dad are getting tired of your crap there. Hey, Edith. Did you hear the news? Your little sister is pregnant.
Well, if that's what you just heard, I was told that by her an hour ago. But she ruined the mood for me really quickly. I was so excited to hear that she was going to have a baby, but that soon stopped after what she had to say.
What? What the hell happened between you both?
Even though she'll be having her baby, she said that a single woman like me will never get a chance to meet them. She thinks that I'll start to spoil them or something, all for the goal of getting them to care for me in my later years or something. And so she's never going to let her see a single woman as selfish as me. That's what she was going on about.
What? You're telling me that Emma said those horrible things to you?
I knew that she'd be back eventually and still make fun of me. She thinks that she's winning the game of life because she got married young and is having her first baby only a year later. And compared to her, I'm some kind of lost cause loser that still has to live with you and Dad still.
Edith, I'm so sorry about all of that. The fact that Emma turned out like this has to be because of your dad and I.
That's right. Both Dad and you always loved to be more caring for her and never bothered to show me that same affection. You guys never even acted like you cared about me, and everything had to be about Emma. And that's the reason why now even she feels as though it's okay to make fun of me and call me a loser.
That's not it at all, Edith. It wasn't that your dad and I didn't care about you. But, well, we were finally able to have another child, and she was our second daughter. And when she was really young, she'd always get sick, so we had to give her a lot more time than you. So because of that, it seemed as though we really spoiled her. Which we kind of did. But, of course, all of that is a bad excuse, right? I'm so sorry about everything, Edith.
At the time, I was a bit worried about what would happen to me, but I've managed on my own so that you don't have to be sorry anymore. But since you guys were the ones to make her this way, I'd like both Dad and you to be the ones to handle her now. Make sure to celebrate her first baby for me, okay?
Well, about her and that baby. Right now, I'm not really wanting to celebrate the fact that she's pregnant now.
What? You don't want to celebrate your number one daughter being pregnant? What's gotten into you all of a sudden?
This all didn't start to happen overnight, okay? It's been ever since the day she got married that I started to think differently of her. A lot of things happened between us, and ever since her wedding, I haven't spoken much with her.
Is that right? I always thought you kind of slowed down with all the affection you'd been giving her after she married. What happened between the two of you that I'm not aware of?
Well, that's the thing. I'll have to tell you about it later. Just know that because of things, your dad and I aren't really too excited about her either. We'll celebrate her pregnancy a little bit, but besides that, we have no plans on doing anything with her.
I see. Well, she's got her own family now anyway, so that's probably the best option. I wouldn't want things to get worse around us because of her, so it's best to keep creating some distance one step at a time. Let's just be quiet when things come to her and hope that she has a safe pregnancy and childbirth.
I want you out of this house right now, Edith. Starting today, I'm going to be living here with Mom and Dad.
Huh? Emma?
I've been told it's your fault that I'm not able to come back to Mom and Dad's house to have my baby, and it's pissed me off big time. I'm not letting a woman in her 40s get in the way of me being able to stay with them any longer. I've already taken all your things and thrown them outside for you. Grab all those things soon and then get lost.
Can you slow down for 2 seconds? What do you mean you want to come back and have your baby at Mom and Dad's house? And also, why do I have to leave their house in order for you to do that?
All women go back to their hometown when having their baby, right? So I was thinking I'd go back home to their house and have my baby. However, both Mom and Dad have told me not to come back to their house. They told me I no longer have a room there and that I should just give up.
Really? You're telling me that Dad and Mom both told you no to coming back to the house to have your baby?
Yes! And when I tried to ask them why I didn't have a room there anymore, they didn't give me a single answer. That's why I decided that I'm going to have to force my way back in. If I've come all the way back to their house, they'll have no other choice but to let me stay, right?
What?
And when I came into the house, I saw something that I want an explanation for right now. It looks like you had all your things in my room and took it from me.
Well, you got married and no longer live in the house with us anymore, right? And when it comes to my job, the company said it was okay for me to start working remotely. Since that's something I've been looking forward to for a long time, I decided to use your room and turn it into my office.
And that's the reason why Mom was telling me I had no room here and said no to me coming home, right? The obvious reason for it is that you've taken my room, and so this is all your fault. I bet both Mom and Dad have been wanting their cute daughter back home as soon as possible.
What?
I want you out of there immediately. I have a very big baby in my belly right now and don't want to stress any more about you being around me. I am back to have my baby here, and in order to do that safely, I need you gone.
The fact that you just barged into a house you were told not to come back to and then asked me to leave right away is pretty bold and terrible of you. I get it. I'll hand my office and everything back over to you while you're home. Then you won't have anything else to complain about, right? I'll give you back your old room, but I'm going to stay in the house as well.
Huh? That's only going to make me complain more. I have my husband here with me as well, and you expect the two of us to share one small room together the whole time?
What? You brought your husband along with you? Emma, you're telling me that you brought your husband, Ricky, back home to Mom and Dad's with you?
Oh, that's right. Without me around, Ricky would have a very hard time. He told me he'd get so lonely back home and wanted me to bring him along for the time I'm here. And that's why he's here with me.
That right there is a totally different situation for everyone then. Why did you even come back to Mom and Dad's if you planned to bring him with you?
Well, he happens to be very busy with work. So while he's gone during the daytime, who would take care of me? And when it comes to Ricky, he sucks at doing the chores. So that's why we've both come back to Mom and Dad's place. That way, we both can be cared for by Mom and Dad for the next month or two while we lay back and relax.
You and your husband, you both better not be under the assumption that you could make both Dad and Mom your housemaids.
Well, to me, both Mom and Dad are like my housemaids, and I'm going to use them as such. Ever since I was a little baby, they'd always spoil me and do anything I'd ask from them. Those two love taking care of me, so I'll let them do it again for another few months.
Are you sure?
But the fact that I just came back home and my room was taken over by you is unacceptable. So I want you to go home, grab all your things, and leave.
Asking me to do all of that right away is difficult for me. If you want something like that to happen, you needed to talk to me weeks in advance so I could prepare.
Shut the hell up, you single middle-aged loser! This is not even your house! So tell me why I have to talk with you about anything before I do it here?
Did you just call me a single middle-aged loser?
I sure did. All you are is a shut-in old freak. You are way too old now to not have yourself a husband. And now you want to live at Mom and Dad's for the rest of your life leeching off them. You are what the world likes to call a freeloading loser.
Hold up. I'm working a full-time job right now, so I'm not some shut-in. I also happen to pay for my right to still live in this house, so stop calling me a freeloader.
Hey, Edith. Normally people your age have started to live on their own and no longer need their mommy and daddy's help anymore. They end up getting married by your age and are out of the house into a place of their own. But since you haven't done any of that, you've stuck around and leeched off both Mom and Dad. It doesn't matter if you're working or not. You have not started to live on your own yet, and that makes you a shut-in. And a loser. You are an embarrassment to this family, and a single, no-good, middle-aged loser.
Excuse me?
The fact that you are still sitting in this house with both Mom and Dad means you have caused them more than enough problems. A freeloading shut-in like you needs to go. Both Mom and Dad want me home with them so that they can care for all my needs. There is no home for you anymore here. Huh? I'm asking you to please leave my house. Both myself and your dad do not even want to see your face anymore. You having the balls to force your way into our home after we told you no. Why are you such an awful daughter? Oh, wait a second, wait. Is this you, Mom? It is me. Today, Edith happens to have the day off work. So the three of us have been taking the day to go out and have some food and relax. And to think while we've been out enjoying ourselves, you and your husband would break and enter into our home. Break and enter. Why are you calling it that? Your cute daughter and her husband are giving you both the gift of having me home again. You want me to be home with you both in order to have my baby here, right? You had to cry and tell me no to that because of Edith, right? To us, you are no longer our cute daughter. You have already gone and burned through a lot of your own parents' savings without ever telling us. Your dad and I actually hate you a lot now. Just because we told you no does not give you the right to start blaming Edith for it. Huh? Why are you so surprised about this? You and that man of yours both went ahead and started to use up your dad's and my savings, right? I thought you would have been happy to see the two of us give you that wonderful wedding. But then after that, I seen you going through our account pulling money from it. After your wedding, both your dad and I went to the bank and took a good look through everything to see you and your husband using it all up. I guess I can see why you're shocked by all this, because not once did you ever tell your dad and I anything about how you used up our savings. Huh? Oh, wait a moment, Mom. I went ahead and apologized to you for all of that. You apologize? Was your apology that crappy little $10 present you got for us when you went on both of yours' honeymoon? And along with it, there was this note that said, sorry, and then LOL on it? You thought that crap was a good enough apology for what you did? Ever since you were a little baby, your dad and I have loved you and cared for you so much. And because you were always our favorite child, we wanted to give you a good wedding. We went ahead and gave you $30,000 to help out with paying for it and everything. But that wasn't enough from the both of us. Because both you and your husband went ahead and started to take more of our money without asking. Well, no matter how you think of it, at the time we had needed more money for things. I wanted to give you both the best wedding I could because I love you guys a lot, and so that's why I went ahead and spent a little more. My husband and I at the time didn't have a lot of money, right? And with that $30,000 you gave us, I couldn't make the wedding the best it could be. That's why I went ahead and took a little more from you. You think you only took a little from me? You went and took another $80,000 from the two of us. But both you and Dad said it yourselves. You said you were both looking forward to your cute daughter's wedding. So I wanted to give a very high-end and shiny wedding for everyone. That's why I just started to spend your money without really checking how much things were, to make it that beautiful. That was my way of being a good daughter to you both. I have had enough of your freaking crap, you no-good, stupid little waste of our time. When both your dad and I took a look at how much you both took from us, our eyes were opened wide up. We happened to spoil you way too much, and because of that, we created the most ungrateful brat on this planet. What do you mean ungrateful? You both were the ones that showed me so much of your love, right? Why are you giving me the cold shoulder now? From now on, your dad and I are going to make things right. I want you to forget about your weak parents from before and start to take a good look at your new, strict parents. It might already be too late for us, but we are going to go back to basics with you and try to raise you properly. But... Listen, you! Why did you bring along your husband if he can't even do any chores in this house? Are you trying to tell me that he doesn't know how to live on his own? I like that you made fun of Edith for that when the man you married can't even be left alone. But Mom, in exchange for that, he works really hard at his job. Well, then, for us to allow you to stay at our place, we'd like you guys to pay us $2,000 a month to us. You should be able to do that, right? He works so hard at his job, after all. Your dad and I will do the chores for you guys and take great care of you both. As long as we get a cut of that hard-earned money. You can do that for us, right? You want $2,000? We have no way of paying you both that much. But your sister is able to do it in order to live here. And she doesn't even need me to do her chores. That's the reason we're letting her live with us. You're telling me Edith is able to pay that kind of money to stay with you guys? She is actually really busy with her job all the time. But she still has the ability to do her own chores and cook for herself. However, I've been more than happy to help her out since she has a lot of work on her plate already.
So in return for me doing some chores and a little bit of cooking for her, she now pays $2,000 a month to us. So, if you both really want to be living back in our house for the next few months that badly, then you can pay the same amount she is.
But that's...
But that's what? Tell me what you're going to complain about now, you ungrateful witch. Did you know that back when you had your wedding and got married, Edith left our house? She was gone for only a month when we asked her to come back and help us because you had used up all our money. She told us she was fine with that because she worried about the two of us. For a few months, she even paid us double what she pays now to try and get us some more money into our savings again.
What?
Throughout all her past, she had to watch as your dad and I only ever loved you. She had no need to care about us and could have said no with every right to do so. We did things to her that any person would hate us for. But your sister happens to have a heart and didn't want us to suffer because of you. She came to our pleas and made sure we were going to be okay. Hearing you want to kick someone like her out of the house like that is something I'm not going to allow.
Then what are we supposed to do? The both of us came all the way over here to live with you guys while I have my baby. Are you seriously going to make us do a 180 and go back home now?
Dang right I am. Go home right now, the both of you. If you both want to come live with us again, then you hand your dad and I that $80,000 you stole from us. Until you've done that, you are never allowed in our house again.
Are you kidding me?
We are on our way home now, so you have until we pull into that driveway to leave. If you don't, we are calling the police and telling them you broke and entered into our home and need to be taken away.
Hey, Edith! I haven't been able to talk with either mom and dad for the past 6 months. I told them that I had my baby and everything, thinking I'd get a response, but they didn't even say congrats or anything.
Even if they haven't spoken to you, they are happy to hear about the baby. They both said they're relieved to see that the baby was healthy.
Huh? Well, then why has neither of them said anything to me? If they are happy about my baby, why aren't they going to come over to my house and bring me presents? I was able to give birth to their cute little grandbaby.
Huh? You want presents for having a baby now?
I do. It's normal to send someone gifts after they've brought another member to the family, right? They gave me $30,000 for my wedding a year and a half ago. So for a cute little grandbaby, they should give us at least $50,000, right?
Not anymore. You're not getting a penny from those two ever again, actually. Did you forget that you and your crappy husband both used Dad and Mom's savings without asking? Dad told me that a portion of that can be considered your gift then for the baby.
What? But that's not good enough for me. Without any kind of money from them, how are we going to raise the baby?
Wait, what? Aren't you both supposed to raise and care for the baby? You have the income from Ricky, right?
When it comes to his income, he's only making around $1,500 a month, actually. There's no way we can raise a kid with that kind of money.
Ricky's only making that much? He's allowed you to be a housewife and everything with that kind of income? I assumed because of that he was making at least 3 times that amount.
We are only 25 years old right now. We have no way of making that kind of money at our age. Also, Ricky has a habit of changing jobs a lot, so he never is able to get any sort of raise.
Is that so?
That's why we've been hoping for some more money from Mom and Dad. We really do feel sorry for using up some of their savings during our wedding, but come on now. It's not like Mom and Dad haven't forgiven me already for that, right? And I thought that by having this grandbaby for them, I'd be able to get back on their good sides again. To hear that they won't give me any money.
My God, Emma. Was this the whole reason you planned on having a child in the first place?
But in the past, Mom and Dad always spoiled me with everything I wanted, right? They love caring for me all the time, and I thought they'd want to spoil me forever. And I thought that also meant they'd want to spoil both my baby and my husband as well.
Seriously?
But to hear they won't give me any money this time is not going to go over well with us. Please go tell Mom and Dad that I want to apologize again for using their savings. I've tried to apologize already over text, but they never reply to me. So please help be the middleman for us here.
Well, if you want, I can tell them since they're sitting right next to me. They're saying that you're in debt to them for $80,000, and they'll never forgive you until it's all paid back to them.
What?
You really thought that you could get Mom and Dad to start spoiling you again by having that baby? I'm sorry, but both Dad and Mom no longer care about you and would rather you learn to take care of yourself now.
But ever since I was a baby, they have loved me so much, and they always told me I was so cute and everything to them. And I wanted them to never get mad at me about anything, no matter what.
Well, it's time for you to become aware that your parents have changed now and are no longer going to let you take advantage of them like that. Now, I've had enough of this. I have to go on a business trip today.
Well, wait a second. Then at the very least, can you give us a gift? You have a cute little niece now. I'll even let you see her soon as long as you give me some money as a gift. You're already putting in $2,000 a month to live with Mom and Dad, so you can afford to give us $20,000, right?
What are you going on about now? You already told me that I'm never allowed to see your kids, right? And since I can't see them ever, why should I give you any gift?
Huh?
Now you and your husband get a grip and learn how to raise your daughter. Emma and her husband didn't even end up getting any gifts from their friends in the end for their new baby. Apparently, because of that really amazing wedding she gave everyone, she expected them all to give her lots of presents and money for it. They followed through with it, but because of that, a lot of them cut ties to Emma without ever telling her. So she didn't even know her friends all left her a year or so ago. Also, since she was a housewife before the baby, she had to quit that job and start looking for a job to make her baby more money. While Emma was doing all that, my parents thought they'd take one trip over to her place to check on how things were going. But when they arrived, she started crying for them to give her money. But instead of just leaving her there to struggle with her useless husband and newborn, they chose to stick closer by to them and make sure that at least the baby was taken care of. And my parents were only doing this because they felt responsible for raising their granddaughter's mother to become a spoiled monster, and didn't want the baby exposed to that.
Hey, Caitlin, I'm really sorry to bother you. I know that you're really busy, but I wanted to talk to you. I know that you're about to give birth soon, but is it alright if you go back to your parents' house?
Huh? Is everything okay? Why are you asking me this question all of a sudden? Didn't you both take parental leave for when the child is born? The two of you will be able to do everything together, right?
Yes, but something has come up. My boss has called me back into work today. I was asked if I could go to Seattle for a while starting next month.
Are you kidding me? Your work's asking you to be out of town from next month? Don't you realize how bad that timing is?
Apparently, there's not enough people at the branch in Seattle, so they've got to send someone from the head office for about a year. So the boss has thought about it for a while and thought I was the right person to be sent.
But you're being sent away for one whole year? I'm sorry, but that's impossible. I'm pregnant. I can't keep up with everything by myself. So, you'll be going to work in Seattle alone?
This is all for work. I can't help what my bosses choose to do with the employees of the company. So even though it's a sudden move I have to make, maybe you can move back in with your parents? I'm a little worried about leaving you alone at home.
But if you go, I think I'll be able to manage things by myself. I haven't been super sick or anything, and my parents are only an hour's drive away. It's okay if I don't go all the way back home to continue my pregnancy there. We can afford to have my parents come over to check on me once in a while.
Well, that's not great, Caitlin. The reason I want to go is because maybe my sister will come storming into the house and take over. That's why I'm begging you to please flee to your parents' house so you don't have to deal with her. I won't be able to sleep because I'll be so worried if she tries to do anything to you.
What are you talking about, Craig? Are you talking about Dana? Your younger sister? What do you mean by she'll come to the house and create a storm? Why do you think she'd do that?
We've talked about Dana before, haven't we? My sister's the complete opposite to me. I'm the serious one, and she creates trouble all the time. It's okay for me to be married, but to not be with someone similar to me, she said. She's giving my parents so much grief right now, she's hard to control.
I mean, she and I love to have fun and do cool activities. I guess that's why she quit her job really quickly. And last year she got addicted to gambling and ended up in a lot of debt, about $30,000, I think. I remember she was shouting at you at the New Year's gathering to lend her some money because she lost a lot of it.
She even tried to borrow money from my relative nephews. In the end, it seems like my parents gave in to her and she was able to borrow all the money she needed. But it sounds like she's up to her ears in debt again.
Again? Are you kidding me? Does she ever learn from her actions?
Yeah, now she's got addicted to Bitcoin and her debt has gone up to $50,000.
Oh my God, that's insane. Her debt is higher than what it was the last time we saw her.
Yeah, and my parents were super upset when they'd heard what she'd done with all the money she borrowed. She's so out of touch. She went to their house again crying and kicking up a fuss, all because they found out what she did.
That's so crazy. How could she do this to her own family? So, about Dana and her husband, they probably haven't even paid back the $30,000 they owed, right? To your parents, at least.
No, that's why I'm inundated with calls right now from her. My phone's been ringing all day long. They're just calls from Dana and her husband Rick. They keep asking me to borrow more money and now they're saying that they've got no place to live and want to crash at our house. No matter how many times I say no to her, she keeps persisting. It's frustrating.
Oh no, really? She's asking to stay here? We can't just let them do that.
I'm worried now that she'll be in contact with you really soon. She might eventually try and get to you. Also, if they found out that I went to work outside of the state alone, I feel like they'd come and try to take over the house without my knowledge.
Oh, I see what you mean. I'm your wife, so I'll stand by you. Both of them express very strong feelings, so I'm a little anxious about it. Considering their personalities, I feel like this is something they'd do to us.
Right? That's why I really would like it if you left to go and stay with your parents for the meantime, so that the pregnancy can go smoothly too.
If that's the case, I'll go back to my parents' house. I'm sure my parents will be happy to have their daughter at home again, especially because I'm carrying their grandchild. It's a very sudden thing to happen, but I'm sure they'll let me stay.
I'll also explain the situation to them and my parents so everyone's in the loop. Tell them thank you from me. Because of me, you got to leave our house. I'm so sorry for causing so much trouble for you, Caitlin.
There's no need for you to apologize, Craig. You've not done anything wrong. Thank you for thinking of me and my safety. We can get through this. Well. Maybe Caitlin was the one who's playing with us at her front entrance just now, huh? Wow, have you already finished giving birth at home already? Is that you, Dana? How did you get this number? I'm sorry, but there's no need to divulge my secrets. Besides, this house is ours now. Rick and I have been making this place our own since last week. I'm sorry, but I wonder if you could just go back to your parents' house. That'll be great. You've been in my house? How did you even get inside? After giving birth, I was able to come back home and the door won't even open for me. But of course, you've come in and started occupying it. How on earth did you manage to get inside anyways? It was too easy. Rick just broke a window and we jumped right inside. Isn't he amazing? My husband, I mean. How can breaking a window be that skillful? Just let me in right now. This is my house. And Craig's house too. He doesn't want you here. I'm sorry, but there's no way I'm opening that door for you. Because then you'll just try and kick us out. Plus, we've got nowhere else to go, so we plan to live here from now on. So this house is ours, fair and square. Fair and square? There's nothing fair about it. Stop saying such stupid things. I'm here because I'm returning to my home. What are you even doing while Craig's away working, huh? Well, you were both away, so we got really lucky with just taking it from you. I thought that my brother and his wife were kind and that they'd let me in even if I sat in their front yard for ages. So when we both got here with all our luggage and rang the doorbell, we noticed that neither of you were at home. So that means you were planning to give us this house, right? We were never going to give you anything because you just take whatever you want from people. Please just get out of my house right now and you won't be blamed for any of this. Geez, Caitlin, there's really no need to get angry at us. Unlike us, I know my brother earns a lot of money. Wouldn't it be nice of him to build another house for you and your little friends to hang out in? So you can just give us this house. Are you kidding me right now? Do you seriously think we've got the funds to build another house just so you can keep this one? Besides, Rick and I really love this house. We don't want to leave. I heard that Craig built you both a splendid house, but we didn't think he went this far, huh? It's so nice to have a rooftop and a basement. There's just so much space. It's great. Well, land's very limited in the heart of the city, so we made a lot of use of the space that we had and built up. I took a quick look around, actually, and the bar in the basement looks really cool. My brother's got surprisingly good taste. Please, Dana, just leave and there'll be no trouble. This house is really special to us and we worked really hard to build it. We were planning to start a new life here with our new baby. If you don't give the house back, I'm going to call Craig and tell him what's going on. I know that he's out of state for work right now, and I'm not scared of my big brother. Not one bit. There's no way that someone as serious as my brother would up and leave his job to deal with your problems. Even if he were to come back, the lock will be changed, so no one will ever be able to come inside, and we can occupy this place for however long we like. You can't just do that when it's my house. Why don't you just give up while you're ahead and run back home to your parents, okay? None of your things are in this house anyways. What are you talking about? Where's my stuff then? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't tell you. I didn't have enough money, so we sold all your things. The things we didn't need, we threw away. And the things we thought we could get a bit of money for, we sold. Are you kidding me, Dana? How could you possibly do that to us? Did you really just trespass into my property and sell my things without my permission? Besides, baby goods cost a lot of money. I'm sure you can get new things. I was shocked at how much that ultrasound photo sold for. You gave away my baby's ultrasound photos? Why would you do that when that's my baby in that photo? Why would you sell precious memories to some random person? Do you know how disgusting your behavior is right now? And you gave away the baby goods as well? What am I supposed to do now? Those were gifts from my parents and my friends. Oh, oops. I'm sorry about that. I just needed the money. You understand that, right? But you see, it's our house now, so we don't need any of that garbage. Just give it up now and go back to your parents' house, why don't you? We've sold your things, so there's nothing you need from here, This house now belongs to your dear sister-in-law and her husband. Thank you very much for that. I see. I guess I'm not going to get inside the house. I'll just leave now. Good. Don't even think about coming back here, all right? Tell my brother that you gave in and gave the house to Dana and Rick. I'm sure he'll accept his fate. Fine, I'll do as you wish. I'll never come back to this house again. Even if I do decide to come back later, you'll never know. Huh? Who says something like that? You're so strange. Don't say things that obviously don't make any sense to anyone. Now, disappear.
Hey, Caitlin, are you there? I heard your voicemail message just before. Please tell me what's happening down there isn't true. Did Dana and Rick really just break into our house and take it from us?
Unfortunately, it's true, Craig. I'm really sorry. Rick smashed one of our windows in and they climbed through it to get inside. They also sold all my things, including the ultrasound photos and things for the baby, and they threw some other stuff out as well. They told me to get off the property, and I just got to my parents' house after they kicked me out.
What the heck do they think they're playing at? I can't believe she's done this to us. I'm going to head back down now. I just can't leave you to deal with it.
Yeah, that's fair, but it's okay. You've been concentrating so hard on your work and doing super well. I've got an idea how to deal with this, so don't worry about things here. I've been concerned about Dana's mind for a long time. I think she's gone insane. I was trying to poke around for information as it's becoming such a problem for your family. I really can't believe that she's actually causing real harm to me and your family. If anything more were to have happened, I wouldn't have complained so much about it. Even the things that were sold, this has gone far enough. This is a good opportunity to get them back for what they've done to us. It's time to make everything fair and square again.
Okay, what do you intend to do about them if they won't leave the house?
I won't do anything specific, per se. I'm just going to make them wave the white flag and surrender without letting them know what I'm doing.
What? Caitlin, I don't understand. What are you going to do?
Don't worry about it for now. Just leave it all up to me. I better go deal with this mess. I'll talk to you later. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Get out of here! You need to come and help us. We're trapped in the basement. You need to help us, Caitlin. Oh no, that's not great. The mice have been caught then. It was quicker than I imagined it would be. What's that supposed to mean? I definitely thought once you knew about the bar downstairs, you'd want to go down and check it out. Craig's the only one with fingerprint authentication for the basement. He's the only one who can let anyone down there out if they get trapped. Are you kidding me? You've got this fingerprint authentication in this house? How did you even get that installed here? Craig wanted to have an entire room and gadgets like they do in some drama that he used to watch. I said it looked interesting, so we installed it. Now that I think about it, I was definitely getting excited on building a house for ourselves. That's crazy. How could you just install something like that? Now, how are we supposed to get out of here? There's a key to use just in case something like this happens, but only Craig and I have a copy of it. I know you guys are good at breaking windows, but there's not much point doing that when the room doesn't have any. This can't be happening. So there's absolutely no way out of here? So we've got no choice but to live the rest of our lives in a basement if we can't get out? Sounds about right to me. You can spend your lives down there. There's no way we can live down here. There's no sunlight or any way out of here. I don't want to be in here. You need to let us out immediately. You need to get over here right now and let us both out. We need your assistance to do that. Oh, really now? But didn't you say to never come back? Huh? What are you talking about? I never said that. I know you did. I've got the message to prove it. There's no way I can go there and help you. Craig will be back home in a half a year or so until he comes back, you both can live underground. You're telling us that we have to live underground for up to half a year? But isn't that a good thing? You should be happy about that. I heard that you're in $50,000 worth of debt. I heard a rumor that you've been chased by debt collectors because of it. I don't think they'll follow you into the basement, so you'll both be safe down there. Don't say such ridiculous things to me. We would have collapsed before they caught up to us. There's nothing to eat down here. It literally just got built, Dana. I found out I was pregnant right after we finished building the house, so I've been busy doing other things. I was just about to buy alcohol, snacks, and other things for the basement, but I got locked out, remember? Okay, I get it. Please, just come over here and help us out, please. I'm scared of being in small places. I really don't like it. I'll go stir crazy if I stay here for a long time. Then why did you go down there then? Because a lot of people dream of having a basement to hang out in. Besides, the door was open when I entered the room. Then when I went inside with Rick, the door just closed on itself. No matter how much noise or twisting of the handle we do, we can't get out. Oh, I'm sorry. I've got to run. It's time to feed my baby, and I need both hands to do that. Bye. You're kidding me, right? Please just wait. Are you really not going to come over here and let us out? I need to prioritize my cute baby over you house stealers. If I feel like it, I might help and give you some light. What if you don't feel like it? Then I'm not going to help you. Duh. But you changed the locks on the front door. If that's the case, I can't get you out of the basement. You can't just leave us down here. It's imprisonment. I'm sorry, I've really got to go. You'll be fine. Just reflect on your actions for a while.
Hey, Caitlin, is it true that Dana and Rick are trapped in the basement of our house?
It seemed like they went down there without our permission, just as I expected. She just messaged me asking for me to help get them out. But I said that there's no way I can help them out.
Oh, so that was your plan this entire time, to trap them until they'll do what you say?
They're just like kids. They do the opposite of what they're supposed to do, and they went in there without our permission. I'm sorry for scaring you with my plans, but they invaded our house, and I feel like that's worse than what I did. I think it'll be a good time to reflect on what they've done.
It's okay, I think so too, but I don't want them doing anything to our basement though. Shall I come back tomorrow and help you out? We can go and confront them together.
Will your work be okay with that though? I think I can do this by myself, Craig.
What are you saying, Caitlin? You don't know what those two are capable of. What if they try to hurt you? When I told my parents about it, they were so upset. They want to go there and pick them up.
Okay. Shall we all go there and deal with them together?
My workload is slowed down, so I can take it easy for the next few days. I also want to see our new baby. I'm really excited to see you both.
Hello, Dana. I've decided to come and help you get out. Do you want me to open the basement door?
How dare you do this to me? You're such a crappy person. Hurry up and open the door right now. We've been locked up since yesterday. If you don't help us, I'm going to go crazy.
Oh wow, I'm so scared. If you say anything more like that, I'll just go home again and not help you out.
Don't be like that. Those were all lies, I swear. It's just a joke. Please, just come here and let us out. I've been really scared about being trapped down here and haven't slept since yesterday.
Oh, is that right, Dana? Poor you. I suppose I better help you out then.
Please, Caitlin, help me out.
Okay, but when we open the door, Craig will be there to collect the money you owe your parents. Don't try to run away.
What? My brother and father are coming? Did they tell you about the debt?
Your brother brought them here. They came to take you to their house to discuss the debts. When we told them about our situation, and they said we'll go together to deal with it.
You have got to be kidding me right now. I thought I escaped, but I didn't. Why did you sell me out to my parents? I can't believe they've gathered outside the door. There's no way I'm paying off my debts. I won't do it.
Then you'll be stuck in a place with no food or fresh water. No matter what, you're going to suffer the wrath of your family.
But you can't let them do this to me. It's not fair.
No, it's fair. You'll be hearing from our lawyers about paying for all the stuff you sold and for breaking into our house.
Caitlin, please, I'm your sister-in-law. You need to help me escape so I don't need to pay anything. Please help me out here.
You're going to need all the luck in the world to escape us. Let us judge you for ourselves when you get out of my basement. When Dana and Rick were rescued from the basement, the debt collectors grabbed them by the collars and took them away somewhere. Apparently the debt is closer to $100,000 than $50,000. Plus the $30,000 they owe to her parents. The debt collectors added it all up to be closer to $200,000 that they owe. Rumor has it that her husband lives and does odd jobs for the debt collector's office to pay off the debt. As for Dana, she's working at a shop to repay the debt. For some reason, the debt collectors thanked me for my work. I was able to get back a large amount of goods for the baby, such as a crib, stroller, and lots of branded clothes. I accepted the gifts, and they thanked me for my help in catching Dana and Rick.
Betty, it's been so long, hasn't it? I have some huge news to share with you, but is now a good time to talk?
No, it is never a good time to talk with you, Angela. You know, I still get angry even just having to be reminded that you exist, so if you don't mind, I'd really rather not have this conversation at all.
Wait, what? Now hold on for just 1 second there. I mean, you haven't heard from me in years, and this is the way that you choose to greet me? Don't you think you're being just a little mean?
Are you telling me that you've already forgotten what you did to me? I thought we were friends, or at least friendly, and you stabbed me in the back. You have really got some nerve coming to me asking if I want to catch up about your life.
Oh, but that was already 2 years ago. You really have got to get over these things, Betty. I mean, what is there even left to be mad about? It all happened so long ago.
Well, I don't care how long ago it happened. I am never, ever going to forgive you for what you did to me. I mean, our daughters used to be friends at preschool. I thought that we got along too. You were always someone I felt like I could trust. But then you had to go and steal my husband away from me.
Surely you can't still be hung up over all that, right? I mean, I know I probably shouldn't have done what I did, but it's not like you can really blame me for going after something that I wanted, right?
That isn't true, though. You were always trying to go after my husband, and you know it. You were probably just pretending to be friends with me, too. Also, you could get to Dave. In fact, you even said as much to me before, don't you remember?
Right, but what I'm saying is that Dave was a serious catch. If you don't think there were going to be women out there interested in making him theirs, then that's on you. Besides, I was a single mother. You have no idea just how tough I had it. And then when I met Dave and found out this handsome man also had a good-paying job, well, what was a woman to do? So yeah, I was trying to steal him away from you for a while, but it worked, didn't it?
I knew talking to you like this was a bad idea. Just reading these messages is already making my blood boil. But anyways, Dave is your husband now, and I don't see why I should have to know anything about your lives. So if you'll excuse me, I really must be going now.
But wait, you can't leave yet. I haven't even gotten to talk to you about my big news. You see, the thing is that Yesterday, Dave passed away. So, anyways, I just wanted to let you know that I'm a single mother once again.
Wait, are you serious? Dave is dead?
Yeah, he had been complaining about some kind of chest pains for a while, but then he was also complaining about always being too busy with work to go and see a doctor. And then yesterday, he just collapsed at work and never got up. It sounds to me like he had a stroke.
I see. Well, thank you for sharing that information with me. I really had no idea that Dave was gone. I guess this means that I'll have to break the news to little Julia then.
He really was taken from this world too soon. Like, couldn't he have waited just a little longer? Can you believe that we were only married 2 years before he kicked the bucket?
You know, I have a lot of things I want to say to you, but for now, just know that I really am sorry for your loss. I hope that wherever he is, Dave is in a better place now.
Thank you for those kind words, Betty. But you really don't need to waste any time worrying about me, you know. I may be single again, but I'm not going to let that get me down. I'm going to move on with my life. And it also helps that I get everything in Dave's will, too. I'm sure that all that money will help me in recovering from my tragic loss.
Wait, what do you mean? Dave left you money in his will?
That's right. I really just can't believe he's gone. I mean, I was just starting to really enjoy the life of being a wife of a CEO. But now that he's gone, I guess that just means that I'll have to have enough fun for the both of us.
Well, I'll try and avoid speaking ill of the dead. But if you have to give him credit for anything, Dave knew how to run a business. Not only that, but he was never once late with a child support payment. But I guess he must have also set something aside for you as well.
Oh yes, he did. And I was going to take that money, go to South Korea, and get plastic surgery. Then I'm going to be the hottest widow on the market, and it is going to make finding a new man to sweep me off my feet that much easier. Oh man, maybe things will finally go well for me.
Wait a second, Angela. Don't you think that you're being just a little disrespectful right now?
What are you talking about? In what way am I being disrespectful?
Well, I mean that you're bragging about the money you're going to inherit from Dave, and not only that, but you said you were going to use it to find a new husband. Don't you think there should be a longer mourning period or something for him?
I don't really see how the amount of time I spent mourning is going to make any other man want me more. If anything, it'll just make me look like some depressed widow who is too sad to remarry. And I really don't think that's what Dave would have wanted for me.
I'm not saying that you don't deserve to be happy in your life, but the funeral hasn't even happened yet, right? Should you really even be thinking about the inheritance this early after he's gone?
I knew it! I knew that you were just jealous of how much money I was going to be getting, but anyways, now you know what's happening.
Hello, is this Betty? We met once before, but I'm not sure if you remember me. I'm Thomas, Angela's son.
Oh, Thomas, of course I remember you. You were just a bit older than Julia in elementary school, weren't you? I just wanted to say that I'm very, very sorry for your loss. I'm not sure how close you and Dave managed to get before he passed, but I'm sure this is hitting you quite hard.
I didn't think of Dave as my dad at all. In fact, to me, he was always just Julia's dad that my mom managed to steal from your family. But I could never live with the feeling of stealing Julia's dad.
Thomas, I had no idea that you felt this way about the whole situation.
Well, I actually am messaging you today because I have a few things that I want to talk to you about. For example, do you know how to have a funeral? I've tried looking up things online, but I feel like it just made me more confused than anything else.
Wait, what? Why on earth are you looking up something like that?
Well, my mom said that she didn't have time to deal with Dave's funeral, so she told me to handle it all. So I guess that means that I'm in charge of organizing it and stuff.
You have got to be kidding me. Did your mom really say that?
Yeah, I mean, my mom is back to being a single mother. We don't really talk to any of our relatives, especially not after she had her affair with Dave. That was the last straw for a lot of people. But anyways, that's bad for me because it means that I don't have anyone to ask.
But wait a minute. Where is your mom right now, Thomas? I mean, why in the world would she leave arranging the entire funeral up to you?
Well, my mom is actually out of the country on vacation right now. She told me that she just found out that the check for Dave's money just cleared and that she was off to spend it.
She's away on a vacation right now? So not only is she not going to be at Dave's funeral, but the reason she won't is because she's traveling?
Betty, I just want you to know how sorry I am that you've had to deal with my mom's antics. I really am always trying to stop her from acting this way, but anytime I say anything to her, it's like talking to a brick wall. She doesn't listen to anything I have to say. And this morning when I woke up, she was gone.
Thomas, please, you do not have to apologize to me for what your mom does. In fact, I'm glad that you reached out to talk to me about all of this. I'm very proud of how maturely you've been acting about all this. As for the funeral, that isn't something a child should have to plan. You can leave it all to me.
You mean it? You really want to help plan your ex-husband's funeral? Even after he left you and Julia for my mom? I don't know what to say. All this time I thought that I should have had to plan the funeral as a kind of punishment.
You don't deserve to be punished for anything, Thomas. You haven't done anything wrong. You're a very sweet and kind boy, but this is something the grown-ups should have to deal with. But what I want to know is, if your mom is away on her trip, are you okay? Do you have enough food in the house for yourself?
Kind of. I've been eating a lot of frozen meals that I'm getting from the store, but I'm pretty used to it after all this time.
All this time? What do you mean by that, Thomas?
Well, I just mean that my mom never cooks for me to begin with, so ever since I was little, I've always been eating prepared stuff from the store. But when my mom married Dave, she told him to give me more money to buy food, so I was actually given a budget of about $20 a meal.
And Dave really had no problem with you never eating a home-cooked meal at all?
I don't know whether or not he minded, but he was always too busy with work to do anything. I mean, we would eat out together at restaurants from time to time, but that was it, really.
So neither Dave nor your mom ever cooked a meal for you themselves? I don't get it. Don't they understand how important this time of your life is for growth? Thomas, I want you to come over to my house right away. You are welcome to stay here until all the funeral business is done with.
Wait, what? You can't really be serious about that, right?
Of course I'm serious. Besides, Julia is always talking about wanting to see you. She hasn't seen you since Angela and Dave got married and you transferred schools. I think it's been at least 10 years since you last saw each other.
But there's no way that I could ever face your daughter in person. I mean, my mom was the person who stole her father away from her mother. I'm the son of the woman who completely ruined her family.
But you didn't do anything, and you can't blame yourself for this. This is all on your mom, and you shouldn't feel any responsibility for it at all. Now please, come over here and enjoy some real food. Honestly, someone your age shouldn't be having to deal with all of this. It's just tragic.
Betty, thank you so much.
Of course, but I just wonder if you haven't already forgotten where I live. Anyways, I'll think of something special to cook for dinner tonight, so you hurry on over here. I heard that you stepped in for my son and ended up organizing the whole of Dave's funeral. Even to the end, I guess you never really were over him, were you? Why else would you step up and take over for Thomas like that? You have got some nerve asking me that. Why in the world was it up to your son to hold the funeral anyways? I mean, he is barely a teenager. There is no way he would have been able to do all that by himself. Honestly, what in the world is the matter with you? Didn't you feel a need to pay your respects to Dave at all? What more do I need to respect him for when I have all of his money? You really are a rather sentimental person, do you know that? And just what is that supposed to mean? I mean that you did all of this for Dave when you two aren't even married anymore. I certainly hope that you didn't hope to get anything from me by doing this. Because if you think that I'm going to share a penny of what Dave left me, then you are very, very wrong. Oh, please, do you really think that that's why I stepped in to help your son? I am really getting sick of all your wild delusions, Angela. Here I thought that you would have wanted to show some kind of emotion to Dave's memory, but instead I'm the one having to host the funeral all by myself. There you go, trying to guilt me into giving you something. I knew you would try this. But unfortunately for you, it isn't going to work. I've already told you that you aren't going to see a single penny. Dave's inheritance is all mine. So don't bother trying to kiss up to me. It won't work. You do know that Dave and I never actually got a divorce, right? And just what is that supposed to mean? I mean that had we actually been divorced, then you would have the rights to his will. But the fact is that Dave and I never finalized the divorce, so we were just separated. But legally, we were still married. So basically, I have a much stronger claim to his estate than you do. What in the world are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. Dave and I were married for 2 whole years before he died. That's the reason why I stole him from you. Besides, I know for a fact that we signed the wedding documents and everything.
But did you actually see Dave ever take them to the courthouse for processing?
Of course I didn't. Why would I both need to follow him all the way there? I signed the papers. That means we're married. It really is as simple as that. After we signed the documents, I left it all up to Dave to take care of.
Well, then I think that Dave might have tricked you because you two were never married.
You really have no idea what you're talking about. Do you know that?
Oh, I'm afraid that I do, though. You see, I never forgave either of you for your affair. And one way that I got my revenge was by refusing to divorce Dave. It would have been so easy to just sign the papers and be done with it, but then I knew that that would make things even easier for him. I still carried around my grudge against you two, so I never ever signed any kind of divorce papers.
You have got to be kidding me.
I'm not at all. And Dave knew he had no choice but to go along with it, since I could have taken away his visiting rights to see our daughter. I told him that if he and I get divorced, that he would never ever see his daughter again.
You did what? But this doesn't make any sense. This is the first I'm hearing of any of this.
Well, now you know that for the past 2 years, your so-called marriage to Dave was all a lie.
But surely the courts would have seen that we were together.
I'm afraid that it's not a matter of that at all. Dave's will lays out quite explicitly that his wife is to get everything. And that would mean that it all goes to me.
It doesn't really say that, does it? Surely there's got to be a mistake here. My name has to be on that somewhere. There has to be a version around here with my name on it.
Well, you said he died suddenly from a stroke, right? So what makes you think he would have even made something like that?
I found Dave's will, and just as I thought, I am going to get a huge amount of money.
You mean you found a new version of the will?
That's right. He said that even though we weren't married, he wanted to leave me everything as a way of apologizing for lying to me.
I see. Well, if the document is really real, then you have to go and get it notarized. That way it can be used legally, otherwise it would just look like you were trying to pass off a fake document as the real one. And that is a very serious crime.
Wait, hold on. Is that really true? You mean I can't just show them this document that I found this morning? But then you have to at least give me something.
Ah, so you mean you did forge that document?
Please, I have a child. I need Dave's money to take care of him.
Oh, don't worry about me, Mom. Betty already said that she was going to pay for my college. I'm glad that you got back home from your trip there. Betty was so worried about me when she heard that you were gone. She took me in for a few days.
Wait a second. Is this Thomas? What are you talking about? You're with Betty right now, and what do you mean she's going to pay for your schooling?
I mean that she is going to be more of a mother to me than you ever were. She already has been in just a short time that I've been here. We've been talking, and she told me that if I managed to get into a college, that she would pay for all 4 years of my tuition.
But that isn't fair. What do I get there?
I don't care what you get, Mom. I was talking with Julia, and she was so excited that we're going to go to college together.
Thomas, you can't trust someone like Betty. She's going to charge you interest. She's going to try and trap you with debt.
No. She said she was going to do all this for free. Betty told me I won't owe her a penny, ever. And so, I really don't need or want you in my life anymore, Mom. I think I'm old enough to take care of myself. After all, I've been doing it already for years now.
How dare you talk to your mother that way? What is the matter with you?
Is that really the last thing you wanted to say to me as my mom?
No, wait, don't go. I'm sorry. Please, you have to talk to Betty and convince her to share some of that money with me. I need it.
I see. Well, if that's all you need me for, I think I'm going to be going now. Have a nice life, Mom. Don't reach out to talk to me ever again.
Wait, no, Thomas, come back. Please, you can't just leave me like this. I'm your mother. Can't you see that I really need help right now? Please, you have to come back. Thomas!
After that, I talked with Thomas and agreed to let him live with Julia and I. He really is a brilliant kid, and he excelled in all of his classes. By the time he finished school, he was valedictorian and even gave a speech to all of his classmates.
Julia and I support him through the college application process. By the time he heard back from all the schools he applied to, he had 5 different full-ride offers to choose from. I continued to get harassing messages from Angela begging for money. She even hired a lawyer and tried to sue me. But she quickly burned through what little money she had left doing that, and it got her nowhere. Now that Thomas is in school, he tells me that he swears to pay me back one day. And I tell him that he has nothing to worry about at all.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.